You know what I'm hearing? Someone is trying to shut themselves up. And this is happening because they're being humbled. And this is an energy that's been very confident or cocky in terms of who they are and what they represent in people's lives. I'm one of the people who is on the receiving end of this reading, and I'm getting this to be a collective thing. So put yourself in the position that you know authentically you belong in. So there's been a pushing, an premature, energized pushing to get to the next level, the next stage of life. And this is where the humbling process is beginning, because this energy wanted to overlook who they are. It's even funnier because this is an energy that believed wholeheartedly that time would tell, and whatever time had to tell would be on their side. But it isn't. This energy has been quite scattered-minded and doesn't even know how to represent themselves authentically in society anymore. Meaning there's so many ideas and so many energies that are interfering in influencing them that they're having a hard time picking which side to stick to. This could be represented in the people that they're committing themselves to, the ideologies or the jobs or something that this energy is, to be honest with you, desperate to commit themselves to. And there's also this urge or this thing that's making this energy believe that time is somehow against them. It's funny because the panic that this energy feels, God is kind of watching in amazement, because what's coming is actually a humongous, tower moment. What's coming is, I heard trophy for whatever fucking reason, but this energy doesn't know exactly, but they're working on harnessing some type of spiritual either talent. This could be you again, this energy could be you that I'm talking about, or someone that you're connected to. Or they're harnessing their purpose, and they're working towards that. Intuitively, they're being guided, and this is something that's going to show itself as areas in their life start to show signs of recovery. These could be areas that were stagnant, and this energy may have believed that there were people against them or working against them, even if they weren't. And if they were, these energies were actually used for a benefit. They weren't negative in any sense. It was for the best, because at that point, some energies may have came into this person's life and what seems like taken certain events or certain situations where they could have either sustained a financial success or sustained something fundamental, like a cornerstone that they wanted to have in their life. But it wasn't time, because something about this energy needed to be humbled. That's what I'm hearing. They needed to see themselves and take responsibility for something about who they are that they've evaded. For a lot of you, this responsibility, this urge to, or this realization of being humbled has a lot to do with the fact that your prospects, if you're not the one this energy reading belongs to, put it where it belongs, your prospects are changing, or you might be putting yourself out there in some fashion, and this energy is realizing, oh, you're not coming back, you don't really care. I don't know, there is something like that going on. And you know what's funny? There is a very strong delusion that's being cracked, and there was a lot of pride that's now being sucked back in, and it has nowhere else to go except to be realized and be driven out in some type of purpose. Meaning, I'm hearing a lot of you in the collective, if this message is resonating with you, are going to be driven down a path that you did not expect, where you might be discovering secret talents, or you might be getting a new wind of inspiration to take on something completely new. And this has a lot to do with this humbling that I'm picking up on. I don't think this energy was used to people expecting a lot out of them. Maybe they're low functioning, I don't like that word, but maybe they don't see the fact that they function in a very toxic way. And you may have been in a position in your life, or vice versa, if this energy is not for you, where you can actually see past people's bullshit, and you might even see past people's words that they think is positive, but it's actually not. And this is where this energy was. And now they're realizing that the things that may have impressed other people about them doesn't really impress you. And what I'm also hearing is, in your current condition, you may not be able to trust this energy in any fashion. And in many ways, this lack of trust is actually being used to cultivate this person into more of a refined individual who is an embodiment of the kind of humility that they believe that they have. And again, if this message is for you, I want to reiterate something that was suddenly pulled out of your life, whether it is some type of job, some type of endeavor that you were taking that you believed would give you a sense of relief. It wasn't somebody's curse, because I pick up on that energy as well of just worrying that someone had a role to play in this, like whether it be someone who has it out for you or something, like there's a lot of blaming energy that's being resolved at this time. And that energy, again, has nowhere to go except to humble this individual that we're talking about today. Honestly, this is coming with a lot of, maybe not humiliation, but a lot of disparity and depression for this energy, where they feel like they don't really know exactly where life is leading them, or what they're even worth, and what their purpose even is. But in this disparity, there's something very strong being born. And I don't usually like saying this because I get the ick from it personally. There's some type of surprise. I just saw it. Like I'm not gonna lie and say no. There is some kind of surprise coming in for this energy, but it's not what they expect it to be. For a lot of you, this energy could be learning forgiveness, especially if this is the kind of person that cuts people dry and doesn't really care to explain, and they don't really have a sense of sympathy for what they do to people. This is what's happening to them now. They're getting a taste of their own medicine through you. And it's so pervasive in literally everything that they do. This person cannot run away from themselves anymore, or from some type of work that they've been delaying. They're also trying to keep their mouth shut. Like, this energy is either being told to shut up by their guides, or they're trying to keep their mouth shut. Like, they're trying to put a can on this pain, like suppress it, and pretend like they're not hurt, pretend like they don't feel anything. But it's bubbling up is what I'm hearing. Like, it's getting to a point where they have to manage it, and they have to face it, and they can't come to you about it, and it seems like they can't go to anyone about it either, because either of their pride, or because it's a worn out discussion. Like, they've already had this discussion with people. They don't really have as much support, or people are kind of tired of hearing of it, or they should be over it by now. Like, they should have moved on by it, by this time. But they seem to not be able to, because they either had a wrong perception of themselves when they were in your presence, or they tried to correct their perception using all the wrong methods, reaching out as opposed to reaching in. So this is what I'm hearing. Please place yourself honestly. Personally, I'm the energy that is being humbled, and I'm a proud member of the humble city. So I hope you like this reading. You probably won't if you're receiving it, but as usual, I don't reach out. Those are scammers, and everything description box, end. We have 40K. So I'm going to be getting an actual camera, and there are going to be some edifications to this channel, because there's a lot of us.